another game on Game Pass, actually. I played Immortality, which I said I would. It's that new Sam Barlow game. He of Her Story and Telling Lies and such. The FMV mystery games.
You have an array of FMV videos to click type of games.
Okay.
Yes. It is not a horror game, but I would describe it as haunting. Definitely. It's a haunting game. And I don't mean ghosts. I mean like it haunts you emotionally. The basic gist is, you're scrubbing through footage and behind the scenes footage from the filming of several films in 3 different decades, and they're related behind the scenes clips, all starring a particular actress. And it's up to you to determine what you're looking at or what you're even looking for by clicking on stuff in the scenes. So you're actually like, you could click on people's faces and objects in the scene to jump to another connecting scene. The game just jumps you to a different scene connected by whatever
it's like
you
what
clicked on.
fucking Andy was doing on IMDb today.
Basically, you're hyperlinking to different scenes. And through that, you're unlocking new scenes. I don't want to divulge more than that because I think it's worth the exploration and discovery of what you're actually doing. But I will say it's an emotionally evocative experience. It's quite artful. It fully immersed me. It's a mystery. It utilizes the medium well, I would say, in several ways. And it's just kind of, it's an FMV game, so it's like it's similar to his previous efforts, but it's really a unique type of game. Well, these FMV games are unique in their like genre because they hit something specific that few to no other games really do for me.
Okay.
It's partly the presentation, partly the confidence of the material, and partly the subject, which I think is cool. And I would say this one has the best production value yet. So suffice to say, I think it's worth playing, and it's on Game Pass, so it's easy to play if you have Game Pass.
Cool.
The only real negatives, I would say, just to like warn people before they get into this, the control scheme can be a tad wonky. So for that, I do recommend use a controller to play. You can use either master keyboard or controller. Use a controller to play. There's like mechanical elements that work better on controller. Surprisingly, actually, considering it's a PC game. Even then, you may want to experiment when you're deep into the game because there's some things that aren't like directly told to you as a player. It's like there are controls that you just have to kind of figure out. So just experiment. And the other thing is, I had what I consider to be a pretty ideal progression through the narrative, like in the way the clips were presented to me based on what I was unlocking. But I can totally see how someone might just get lucky or unlucky and see things in a confusing or like a disappointing order, which was always a possibility in these FMV games by Barlow. But all I can say for that is I think it's worth knowing that the game does have credits to hit. You're not just straight up left to your own devices. It has credits to hit. You will know when you've gotten to the end. And my experience was that as long as I watched everything in full all the way through and made thoughtful decisions about what to try next, I never really needed to do much arbitrary clicking until like after the game was ended and I was just cleaning up. It unraveled pretty organically for me. So hopefully it'll do the same for others who play it.
Right.
That would be ideal. But I definitely recommend this game. More so than even like his previous games. I think this one's really cool.
I saw that it got good reviews. This is definitely not.
I was hearing a lot of people say,
definitely not in my wheelhouse. But I don't know. We'll see.
I'll check it out.
It's kind of like not in any wheelhouse. It's so.
Well,
it's so
I think
in
if
its
you're
own
a fan of
category.
visual novels,
which
your
I am
gear.
not, to be
Well,
fair.
what are you talking about? You're playing 2 right now.
What?
In that game, the other game you're playing with the animals.
Beacon Pines.
Oh, I guess, yeah, I
Visual.
guess I did technically play. Although that one's like, I say it's a visual novel, but you are like running around and
But you do
talking
have a
to people,
history
but-
of you've played a bunch of visual novels. I actually purposely avoid them because it's just not my, I'm a gameplay like first kind of gamer.
Sure.
You know? And I love a good narrative. But I just need that. I just need that adrenaline rush,
I
need
actually
just
don't
to
really
distract.
like visual novels. I'll be honest. Like classic, just clicking through text bores the shit out of me. You need some kind of like snappy gimmick or like some
Well,
kind
you
of
felt it rewarding
engagement.
then to, I guess, to scrub the films like
Yes.
that. The gameplay of that, is it kind of similar to how you feel when you're playing? What is that weird internet game?
Hypnospace Outlaw.
Is it similar to
Jeez.
that where you're kind of like scrubbing like kind of figuring out what to click and how things relate to each other and
In like a vague way, yeah. It's really
yeah.
in its own category of like these games that he makes. And Hypnospace is an amazing thing of its own, even. But yeah, in terms of just like you are clicking on things to find links to other things. Sure, yeah.
Cool.